Hi everyone, this is a video to help you streamline your revision for the IGCSE World Literature course. This is the paper Menagerie, and you'll know this is a story about a young boy who's growing up with a culture clash in his family because of his Chinese mother and his American father. I'll start with the reference to origami. You can see here that this little paper tiger is what his mother has made for him. It pounces playfully and it growls, and these words here, special and magic, she breathed into her origami, and it's a beautiful image of this little paper tiger coming to life because of his mum's magic. Now, it's unclear whether we think it's just the child who thinks it's so impressed by his mother at this time that there's this element of magic because it shows the connection between mother and son. To be honest with you, I completely believe that this is supposed to be a reference to how captivating he found his mother's play when he was younger. This makes it particularly sad because as he grows up, he gets frustrated by their differences, and by their differences, I essentially mean the fact that he's growing up in America and his mother continues to speak her own language in the household, and he becomes more and more teenagely embarrassed by her, and their relationship entirely breaks down. Anyway, at the start though, this magic and special semantic field of magic makes us think that this was really good fun growing up in this household. However, things start to shift, like I said, as this boy gets older. This is a quotation. "Your mum makes toys for you from trash." Mum here, Americanism, then compared with the special and the magic from before, makes it really clear that clash that I was talking about. And this trash, Americanisms too. He had never thought of this tiger as trash. And now he is, because of the influence of others, really just a piece of wrapping paper. Now, because of this shift and change, the mother does respond to her son's kind of frustrations. And part of me doesn't, I'm not sure what you think, and I'd love to know. Part of me doesn't, I get annoyed with the fact that the son rejects his mother, but I also can't blame him because he's a child and because he's growing up with influences of two separate things, and that can be really challenging. So his mother tries to meet him halfway. She tried to use more English. So we notice this effort of really trying. She tried to use more English, but her accent was broken. Sentences embarrassed me. Eventually, she stopped talking altogether if I was around. Stop speaking shows us again at this breakdown of the family relationship here. She's trying, but the way that American mothers did on TV, I thought her movements exaggerated, uncertain, ridiculous, graceless. Now, I'm very aware I've chosen quite big quotations. It's because I really like this story and there's lots to unpick with it. But we must be mindful of streamlining and not over complicating this. So I feel like if I was going to pick out anything from this quotation, it would be this listing of adjectives: exaggerated, uncertain, ridiculous, graceless. She saw that I was annoyed and stopped. So this judgment here in those words and frustration on his part. Graceless being something I might focus on out of all of that. If I don't make it, don't be too sad and hurt your health. Focus on your life. Just keep that box you have in the attic with you, and every year at Ying Ming, just take it out and think about me. I'll be with you always. Now, this is what his mother says on her deathbed. Their relationship is still broken down. He's a young man at this point, but she's preparing him for adulthood. I think she's thinking that one day he might change his mind about what's happened here, and she's urging him to not feel upset Don't be too sad and hurt your health. Focus on your life. These imperatives here, this mother's plea just before she dies. And she just asks him every year during this time of year to make sure that she takes this box out in the attic, and this phrase, "I'll be with you always," is really powerful. I think the box in the attic would be the phrase that I'd really zoom in on here, this metaphor of leaving something in your mind but packed away in your attic is symbolic of keeping something stored as a memory in the hope that it might come back eventually. Or she does anyway. And that's exactly what does happen. You'll know that the end of the story is about him and he's living with his partner at the time, who has kind of like got this box down, and he finds a letter and he asks a Chinese woman to read it out for him because he doesn't know the language. And when he goes back to his household, he finds the tiger from the beginning of the story. So we have this cyclical structure here, and he cradles him in the crook of his arm. Look at that comfort that he's getting from the tiger now. And as he purred, we began to walk home. So the letter that she's written is in the body of that tiger, that origami tiger. And now, although his mother's no longer able to speak to him, I feel like this ending gives us hope that she would forgive him these behaviours here, like I suggested I might, because of his teenage young person growing up in a clashing of culture. And now we get a sense that as a young man, he's going to continue to respect and reflect on his mother, and that her urging of him to remember her and focus on your life, don't be too sad, is her forgiving him for those behaviours here and encouraging him to live a good, happy life. So if I was going to zoom in on anything here, it'd be the cradling, purring and crooking. Those verbs, I'd remember those if I could, to try and think about the symbols of happiness and comfort. That the story, although it is sad, it's not completely helpless or hopeless. And we get a sense that this man will go on and live a happy life with his mother's memory in his mind. Best of luck.